Children, let us continue with the line-by-line explanation of the chapter The Adventures of Toto by Ruskin Bond, contained in the Grade 9 supplementary textbook, Moments. I shall be reading from page 8, children. Yesterday we read that Toto, the monkey, was up to a lot of mischief. It had reduced the narrator's blazer to pieces. But this act of mischief was seen as an act of intelligence by grandfather. He did not underestimate the monkey. In fact, what did he say? That it's a wise move. Had he got a little more time, he would have successfully planned his escape from that closet. So, grandfather saw this act of the monkey as an act of intelligence. We also read, children, that the monkey's presence in the house was still a secret from grandmother, and because he was up to all kinds of nuisance and mischief, he couldn't be kept at home without the presence of the grandfather. Now, grandfather had to leave for Dehradun in order to collect his pension. So, what was decided? That Toto would accompany grandfather. Now, I am reading from the third paragraph, children, page 8. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. So, it was decided that Toto would accompany grandfather on that trip to Dehradun. And the narrator was feeling bad about the fact that he couldn't go along with grandfather and Toto. Now, a black canvas kit bag was chosen for Toto, and a little straw was kept at the bottom just to make it a little cozy, as Toto had to spend a little time inside that bag while they were traveling. So, just to make his journey a little comfortable, a canvas bag with a little straw at the bottom was provided. Became his new abode means became his new resting place. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Now, if the bag was closed means if it was zipped, then there was no scope for the monkey to escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. You know, everybody knew that he has very sharp teeth, and he is also up to a lot of mischief. So they did not take a chance. The canvas bag that was chosen was quite sturdy, it was quite strong, and he could not bite his way through. Bite his way through means he couldn't bite it and reduce it to pieces. So there was no way to escape. Neither could he take out his hands out of it. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jumping into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Please underline, children. And this is a very complex statement, a very long statement. I am now explaining it by dividing it into parts. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll. Now, he would definitely try to escape, right? So he was making all his efforts. He was jumping, he was rolling, and this only led to occasionally jump into the air. Now it seemed as if the entire bag was jumping into the air. It was rolling, it was jumping, and this was like an exhibition. It was like a show that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers. Now, all the people who were at the platform, they were eagerly watching at the bag. They were curious to know what is there inside it. Why is it like jumping into the air? How could a bag jump into the air? So, all the people, onlookers are the people who were looking at this show. They were very curious. There were a lot of questions in their mind. And where were they present? On the Dehradun railway platform. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Now, Toto was there in the bag till Saharanpur. It wasn't a problem for him to travel, so he was there inside the bag. But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, children, turnstile is a kind of a gate, a mechanical gate. And it has got, revolving indoors and outlets and inlets. Means they are all revolving inlets and outlets. You can say they are vertical posts. And only one person can either enter or make an exit. So, this is, made in a way through safety purpose. For a safety purpose, such an entry and exit is made. Okay, so at that railway turnstile, when grandfather was producing his ticket, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag. Now, he was successful in making his way out of the bag. So, he suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. I had already told you what a grin is when, one smiles or laughs showing one's teeth. Like this, that is known as a grin. So, he flashed those white teeth at the ticket collector. The poor man was taken aback. Please underline this expression, children, taken aback. Taken aback means he was a little surprised. He became a little shocked over here. Okay, so shocked. But with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You'll have to pay for it accordingly." Now, with great presence of mind means, of course, he was shocked, but then he was on duty. He calmly posed a question to grandfather. "Sir, you are traveling with a dog." Now, this was something that grandfather did not like. He got annoyed. And what did the ticket collector say? That, "Sir, because you are traveling with a dog, you have a dog with you, you have to pay for it accordingly. You have to pay for the dog." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify for a dog or even as a quadruped. Quadruped means, children, four-legged animal. Okay. So, what did he say? That, see, he took out the monkey from the bag. In vain. Why does he say in vain? Because, see, he never wanted to take out the monkey from the bag. But here, he had to prove the ticket collector that, see, this is a monkey, this is not a dog. But the ticket collector was adamant. He did not budge. He did not listen. Budge, adamant. He did not listen. He was fixed in what he was saying. Fixed, another word. He was fixed in his claim, in what he was saying, that no, sir, this is a dog and you have to pay a sum of 3 rupees as fare. So, you have to pay a sum of 3 rupees towards his fare. Children, why do you think the ticket collector was adamant on the fact that it was a dog? Think about it. Okay, think about it and you can inbox me your reply. Why do you think the ticket collector was adamant or he was fixed on his claim that no, sir, it is a dog and you have to pay a sum of 3 rupees as fare for the dog? Okay, do remember to send me the reply. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket a pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay you for this, since you charge for all animals?" So what did he say? Okay, let me just scroll it down, children, for you. I am reading on page 8 only, so I am just scrolling this down a little. A little more. Sorry for this delay. Okay, the grandfather just to get his own back, took from his pocket a pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" Now, grandfather also had the pet tortoise inside his pocket. So he took it out and said, "How much should I pay for this? Since you are charging for all the animals, so tell me, what is the fare towards this pet tortoise?" The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his fingers. Prodded it means just inspected it with his fingers, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it's not a dog." So what reply did he give? He inspected the tortoise with his 4 fingers, okay, smiled at grandfather as if he was satisfied with the inspection, and then told, "I will not charge him. I will not charge you for this tortoise because it is not a dog." Again, I am posing the same question, children. Why do you think the ticket collector was judging the fare on this criteria, whether the animal is a dog or not? So, what did he say? Every time he was saying that you have to pay the fare or you don't have to pay the fare, depending on whether the animal qualified for a dog or not. So, please tell me, why was he so adamant? Okay, send me your reply, inbox me your reply. Okay, let's move on to the next page, children. Yes. Children, this is the beauty of Ruskin Bond. In very simple words, he speaks a lot. He speaks a lot in very simple way, and the language that he uses is very simple. Children are easily able to connect with what he has written. See, the story is not very tough. It is meant for children. And after reading the story, we ourselves can connect to animals. Mostly you will see, children, the stories contained in your supplementary readers is based on animals. Why do you think so many chapters on animals are included in your reader? This is also a question I'm throwing at you, that why do you think so many chapters on animals are included in your supplementary reader? Okay, let me move on to the next page. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable, where he had for a companion the family donkey, Nana. Now see, the monkey's presence could not be kept a secret for a very long time. But grandmother too did not object for a very long time. She finally accepted Toto. And when he was accepted, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where horses stay, okay? And there, as a companion, he had the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. Now, because Toto was there all alone with the donkey Nana, grandfather paid a visit to the stable just to see if Toto was comfortable there or not. To his surprise, what did he see? He found Nana, without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Now, Nana was a little disturbed. He was behaving a little strange. And what was he doing? Without apparent cause. The cause, why was he behaving in such a weird or awkward manner, was not visible. He was pulling at his halter, the harness, and he was trying to keep his head far from the bundle of hay. Of course, animals such as donkeys, such as cows or horses, they will never stay away from a bundle of hay. But here, the donkey was acting a little weird, a little strange. Weird, W-E-I-R-D. It means unusual. Synonyms for weird would be unusual, strange. Okay. So, what was weird about his behavior? That he was trying to keep his head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back. Children, haunches, when we sit down on our thighs, over our thighs when we sit down. Okay, I'll be very open over here with you. We all go to the washroom to relieve ourselves in the morning, right? So, we sit on our haunches, okay, to relieve ourselves early in the morning to answer nature's call. We go to the washroom, we sit there for around 5 minutes, for around 10 minutes, and we sit on our haunches to relieve ourselves. I hope the meaning of haunches or sitting on the or haunches is very clear. So animals also have that part, that thigh area, okay children. So the Nana, he gave a slap across the haunches of the donkey and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. And after getting that slap on her haunches, the donkey, he just jerked back. He just came with a jerk, with a little force he came back. And whom did he pull along with him? Toto the monkey. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Toto was hanging on his long ears and his claws and his teeth. They were tightly holding on to the long ears of the donkey. A great treat, Toto and Nana never became friends. Okay. Toto and Nana, they never became friends. What does it mean? That they were always, at dagger's end with each other. Dagger's end means they were enemies. They never could build a relationship of friendship. They couldn't establish that friendship between themselves. Okay, children, I shall end today's explanation here. If there is any doubt, you are free to ask me. Please drop your queries, your doubts in the group that we have created. I will be sharing a worksheet. If required, again go through the video lesson and then write your answers. Thank you, class.